This is a podcast about my mother. She recently passed away unexpectedly, and I would love to just talk about it. And I hope you don't mind that I'm going to be reading through a script I wrote, but I want to share everything. And this has helped me so much just be open and honest with where I'm at in myself and how I'm dealing with this. And I hope that this can resonate or that you will hear where I'm at. My oldest brother called me. We had been talking a lot lately, so when the call first came in, I let it go to voicemail. I was in the middle of a work day, so I thought I'd call him back right away. But then he called back immediately. He said, "Tara, is Teddy home?" with his voice cracking. And I said, "Yes, Michael, what's wrong?" And he said, "Mom died." I dropped to the floor and I kept saying the word no. I couldn't believe it. It didn't seem real. Nothing in that moment felt real. And honestly, I barely remember anything else besides going out for a walk that day. But the next thing I knew, we were flying to Florida. This podcast is about her. This podcast is about my mom, about grief, and about how I'm managing to stay afloat in a time where literally nothing else feels like it matters in the moment. And it's different than any other episode I've done before. Obviously, this is a health and fitness podcast. It's definitely going to get emotional and I might cry. And like I mentioned, I'm reading from a script because otherwise there's no way I could get through all of this. And if you take anything away from this episode, I want it to be this: life and death need to be talked about more. I can't tell you how many people reached out a week after she passed and said to me, I didn't know what to say. And I get it. Honestly, I totally get it. Before this experience, I didn't either. Death makes people so uncomfortable, but literally it is the one thing every single human on this planet will go through. It's the only thing we have in common. And we need to talk about how much it fucking sucks and how inevitable it is for everyone. And unfortunately, sometimes when you least expect it. My mother's name is Karen Marie Rossi. She grew up in New Jersey with her parents and sister, Mary Lou. She married her high school sweetheart and had my two older brothers and then me. Shortly after me, they split up, and several years later, she had my youngest brother with her second husband. Karen loved being a mom. It was truly everything to her. She used to tell me that she wanted to have a girl so badly that she would read books and practice old wives' tales just to make sure her next baby, after her two boys, was a girl. And here I am. And then when my older brothers started having kids, being a Grammy was her biggest gift of all. She would send me pictures all the time of the kids. Even if I saw most of them, she was just so proud that those were her grandbabies. She was always so great with kids. She could calm a baby and play with kids at any age. Didn't matter how old they were. And all kids really loved her. She had a big personality and always had games and toys. She always brought toys. And she knew every one of my closest friends in high school. She would ask about them all the time. I have 4 best friends from high school. And we were just talking about how several of my closest friends right now are about to become moms, and she would ask about them all the time. She was so, so happy for them. My mom had a big and bold personality. She had incredible style and impeccable interior design. I remember one time she came over for Christmas and she changed our entire kitchen when we went out to the grocery store. And at first I hated it. It was like everything was off the counters. I knew where nothing was anymore. And then it stayed exactly that way when she left. She was truly her own person and showed up as her every day in her bright outfits, her matching bags and shoes. My mom was also the queen of sales. And it's funny because I feel like I never got that gene. But here I am having my own business and being successful as a business owner. And I'm like, maybe I did actually get that from her. She could actually negotiate a menu item. Like we would go to a restaurant to eat and she would negotiate the price on a menu, which I don't even know how she did that. She honestly, I feel like could sell the shirt you were wearing off your back. But matter of fact, when I think about it, one time my friend was in Italy. She was in Florence, Italy, and she was looking at leather bags. And I wanted a leather bag so bad. And she FaceTimed me from Florence. And I was negotiating the bag on the phone from Colorado at the time in Italy. And I got that from her for sure. My mom wanted everyone to be together. And as my grandparents passed, it kept getting harder and harder to do that. And it's been 5 years since we've all been together, all of my siblings and families. And unfortunately, it's at her own funeral. She just loved loud houses and big meals, very Italian, laughter, some screaming. But it just feels so crazy that one of her biggest joys and hopes in life was that everyone would be together, and she has to see it from afar. Now, my mom and I had a very complicated relationship, and I use that word because it feels like the best way to describe it. It was complicated. It was pretty strained. We loved each other so much. I wish she knew how much I loved her, but we did butt heads a lot. I am not placing blame on either one of us either. We honestly just couldn't meet each other where we're at. And now that I look at the relationship, I realize that we just were in two lanes and couldn't merge them. I couldn't give her what she needed from me, and she couldn't give me what I so deeply wanted from her. And that is really the hardest part about all of this. It's the what ifs. I'll never know if we could have worked it out. I'll never know if we could have had the relationship that I've always hoped for. I'll never know if becoming a mom one day would have brought us closer. And I'll just never know if we would have had the relationship I so desperately wanted. And she used to say all the time, "You'll understand once you're a mother. You'll get it." And to be honest, she said it in a way at the time that made me feel small. And I think that's why I never felt truly ready to be a mom, even though at the end of the day, she's one of the biggest reasons why I'd ever want to be a mom. We had boundaries. I had a lot of boundaries with her. We had space. I went to therapy for several years to mend the relationship, but we always had tension. And I can obviously admit now that I was so jealous of the time she spent with other people, even though sometimes being apart was actually easier than being together. But at the end of the day, like she always reminded me, she is my mother, my only mother. And she was right. I only get one. I would not be on this earth without her. Knowing that my life force, my origin is no longer here, it feels impossible. I still think I can call her and that she'll answer. I can't text her for outfit help like I did in March for my speaking event. I can't call her to share a business win like when I relaunched my app. And we can't even fight again about something that shouldn't have been fought about like we did last time I saw her. She's just gone. And when you're grieving, everything else kind of fades. It's kind of this weird feeling because you have to go through life, but everywhere around you, like around your head and your vision and your thoughts and your feelings and in your body is grief. And so it feels like nothing else really matters. Like not the person who honked at me and flipped me off for going too slow on the highway, not the massive pimple on my face or my back, not the lack of sales that I got this month, and not the to-do list that I haven't touched in weeks, not how much protein I've eaten or how heavy I've gone on my squats. None of it feels real or relevant because when you feel this empty, those things don't fully register. It's like I know intellectually that those things are real, but what I only feel is her lack of presence. You move through the world like a shell. You just do the things. I answer the emails. I get on sales calls. I work out, and I show up for myself. But inside of me, like inside of my heart and my mind, I feel like I'm watching life happen from like somewhere far away. It's such a weird feeling that is so unexplainable because it hits me over and over and over again. And I keep saying the words, "My mom's dead. My mom's dead." Why do I keep saying that? And for me, leaving the house feels like this weird risk. I am such an extrovert. I love people. I love going to the gym. I love working out with people. But my heart races every time I step outside. And not even because I'm hiding the loss, because I've been very open and vulnerable and vocal about losing my mother, but because I genuinely don't know how to respond if I see someone I know or if they ask. I don't know what they'll say. I don't know what I'll say. What if they ask the wrong question? Not that there's really a right or wrong, but some things really trigger me right now. What if they give me a hug and I completely unravel right in front of them, even if it's just someone I barely know? I also have this feeling that anytime I am going out in public and see people I don't really know, I kind of want to tell them. There's like part of me that just wants to say it out loud And I think that's why I've been so vocal online, is just because I want people to know. And then I'm scared of being too open. I'm scared I will make people uncomfortable, because I know in the past with losses and grieving, people have made me uncomfortable because I didn't know. I just didn't really understand it. And I feel like there's this like constant tension in my chest. It's like I'm holding on to something I can't put down. And then I literally wake up every morning for the last month, and before I even open my eyes, my thought is like, the first thought that comes to my mind is my mom is dead. Like, that's such a weird feeling. But with that feeling, I keep thinking like, it still doesn't feel like, it's not like a real thing yet. I'm just in such shock that as I'm getting ready for her funeral, I want to text her a photo of what I should wear. Like, it is the mental gymnastics that I'm doing right now with this loss is crazy. And I keep thinking there's going to be like one day, one moment in time where it's going to just sink in. And I know it's very fresh, but I just feel like one day it'll just be like, I take a breath and I say, she's not coming back. And for me, I think that day will be feeling like I'm stepping outside and I feel the sun on my face for the first time after like a really cold winter. Or maybe it's like the first like freezing cold outside, like balmy day. And maybe it'll happen tomorrow, and maybe it won't ever happen, because grief, as I'm learning, doesn't follow a schedule. It doesn't follow the 5 stages. It's all bullshit. It's not linear at all. It's not something that I can just go through step by step. There is no step-by-step process with grief, and it's not going to go away. People say like, oh, time will heal. It's not fucking healing at this point. And the best kind of vision I can see it as is like it moves with you. It doesn't fade away. Like in a glass jar, if you have a ball in a glass jar, the glass jar just gets bigger, but the ball still stays the same size, because I'm moving with it. And I truly never know when that next wave is going to happen. And I think back to our relationship. You know, my mom brought me into this world. She literally prayed to have a girl. She wanted a daughter so badly. And I was the only daughter with 4 children, 3 boys and a girl. And I'm here still keep going without her. And I just wanted more time. I just wanted more time so bad. I wanted healing. I wanted her to be there if I became a mom. I really thought we would get that chance someday. And now someday is gone. And I know people have told me like, you can still have that relationship with her. I will try, but it'll never be. And really, I'm recording this because I'm feeling very raw and emotional, but also grief is not talked about. And it absolutely should be. It absolutely should be. It's actually really sad that we don't talk about grief, because it is so uncomfortable. We don't know how or what to do or say. It is so scary to so many people, but it is real. And it's literally the one thing that all of us will experience in our life. We live and we die, and so will everyone around us. So why do we avoid it? Avoid talking about it like it's not going to come to us. And sometimes I feel like right now, especially in the very early stages, the world keeps moving on without me. And I'm like kind of in the background, like people are laughing, they're going about their day. And I'm just sitting here being like, why are you laughing and having fun? Because my mom just died. And I understand that life continues, but mine feels like it's like slow motion. It feels like I'm just kind of like trudging through water. But this pain is like all consuming. And it's also the most human thing in this world. We have to stop pretending like it's not. Grief literally changes you. It shapes everything. And while I know that happiness and joy and laughter and all of these feelings will come back to me, right now, I'm just not okay. And I am learning through many books and resources. And I have a list of people and groups and therapy and all of this stuff that I'm learning this about. I'm also trying to be okay with that too. So the one thing about grief that is so hard, grief is so hard because it's invisible. If someone walks into a room with like a cast on or a broken arm or a black eye, you can visually see their pain. You ask what happened, you show concern, but grief, it just like is there. You can't see that. There's no limp. There's no visible bruises. There's no cast on you. You're just someone walking around trying to hold it all together with like a million broken pieces inside. Like it's crazy to just keep walking and keep moving, even though these like massive feelings are inside of you and no one can see it. And there's part of me that just wants people to see it. I want people to know this pain. I want them to feel it. I want them to see that I'm in pain. And that's why I feel like I want to tell people right off the bat when I see them, but I smile when I have to, and I show up where I have to, and I cry on walks and in the shower and in the car. But I realize I don't want pity. I think that's the hardest part. It's like, I don't want pity. I just want to be understood. I just want to be understood. I just want to be seen. I don't want to be fixed, because you can't fix this. This is not something you could just fix. I just wish some days that there was like a way to show the pain to help people see like what I'm carrying around with me. And I have been in pain before. I've hurt parts of my body. I've gotten in big fights. I've done bad things in the past. I have made mistakes. I do not wish the pain of grief on anyone. It is the worst possible feeling you could have. To me personally, it's miserable. I have never felt this in my life. And they say that there's 5 stages, right? Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. But no one tells you how long you'll stay in each one. No one tells you that you can just cycle through over and over and over again. Sometimes in one day, in 1 hour, I will have all 5 of those. Shit, in this podcast, I have had all 5 of those. They tell me time heals, but it's just making it worse right now, actually. I know it will get better. It will get easier. I will keep moving throughout my days, and I will keep doing things to take care of myself. But right now, it doesn't feel like that yet. Each day feels a little bit heavier than the one before. Each quiet moment, each time I close my eyes and think about her, I still see her face, and every reminder lands harder. And I know that this is all part of the process. But I wanted to use this also to apologize to anyone that was grieving anything before me. I'm sorry. I didn't get it. I didn't know how deep it went. I didn't show up in the way I should have. And I don't think anyone could possibly show up in the way that they could without this feeling. I wish I would have done it differently. And here's just 5 things that have helped me from other people if you know someone or have seen someone go through a loss. Because I wish I knew what to say. And there are absolutely words and phrases that have been more triggering for me personally. Like when people just ask me, how are you? That's really hard for me, because I don't really know how to say anything other than not good right now, at least. And so for me, I really appreciate when people say that they're thinking about me, or that they're here for me, or that they would love to give me a hug, or go for a walk, or pick me up a coffee, or send a gift card, or just say that they're here for me, or that they're sorry for my loss. I wish I showed up for people differently in their grieving process. I wish I showed up for people in a way that one of my friends, Jara, did for me. I literally had no idea what to wear for the funeral. And she came over to my house the next day with 8 things. Try these on and say if any of them work, awesome. If they don't, that's great too. She sent me a card, and in the card, she sent me emojis. It said, if you send me a red emoji, I'll come over for a quick hug and leave. If you send me an orange emoji, I'll get you a sweet treat. And just different colors of the rainbow were what I needed. And it was just so thoughtful and so sweet. I wish personally I would have sent something to past grievers. The most incredible and thoughtful gifts have been through friends that have sent me food, to be honest with you. Food has been really hard for me personally, just to eat. And my husband has been the most supportive, loving, caring, best husband in the entire world. But he cooks every meal. So every Uber Eats and DoorDash and gift card for food has been so helpful. The granola bars that people have sent, the protein powder, like all of that is just it's so thoughtful. The flowers have been beautiful, a card, a meal, like just a text, or just like I love you. I'm here for you. I wish that I focused on good memories to myself and to past grievers. I wish that I wasn't constantly focusing on things I wish I did differently or bad experiences. And I wish that I could solely focus on as much good as I possibly can. And I wish that I said that I love you more to my mom and to fellow grievers. I just wish I said the words I love you, because they mean a lot. And really, for me, I just want to feel seen. I want her to feel remembered. I want to feel loved in the middle of the hardest thing I've ever faced in life, for sure. This is definitely the hardest thing I've ever faced in life. And the truth is, like, I really didn't know what to do before, and we don't talk about it. And I'm hoping to use this opportunity to just talk about it more. So closing out this solo about my mom, I just want to say that grief isn't something you get over. So if you know someone or you know me, it's something that I'm going to carry with me. And it's weaving into my body and into my life and into my routines and into my identity. And it is completely reshaping me every day. And so if you are grieving right now, if you're hearing this and you are grieving, you are not broken. You are not weak. You are not too much. You are human. And this pain, this ache in your chest that you're feeling, me to me and me to you, it means that you loved deeply and you were deeply loved. And so if this episode made you feel seen, even for just a moment, if you're navigating your own version of this, just know that I am with you too. And every message and every card and everything I've received from all of you guys over the past month has just been so beautiful. And I thank you so much. We don't talk about this grief, but maybe we should. And I will continue to. So I don't feel alone, because I know I'm not. And for you not to feel alone either. And to my mom, I love you so much. And I hope you're resting in peace. And I miss you a lot.